at all. Welcome to my channel, and I thought today I would show you a tutorial on this. Now, don't get excited. Now, Miss Shemeka has sent me this, and she sent this in our Merry Mail swap that we just did, and she's got it plumb full of goodies. If you'd like to see what's inside here, go over and I'll leave links down in the description box below where you can go watch and see what Miss Shemeka sent me, and also I'll leave the video and you can watch what what I sent Miss Shemeka. But here is my rendition of it. And why do you say? Well, what happened was Miss Shemeka had made it. I posted my pictures on Facebook in our swap group, and one of our other members of our swap group, Miss Julie, said, "Oh my, that's so cute. Where did you get it? And where can I get this?" And Miss Shemeka said, "I got it from, it's a SVG cut file for your cutting machine that she got from a friend of hers on Etsy." So I think Miss Julie was a little bummed and said something along the lines of, "Well, I'll have to see if I can find a die cut." Now, there are die cuts of aprons all over. I'm sure AliExpress, Amazon, eBay, whatever choice, scrapbook.com, whatever store you like to shop with, has an apron die. And you can convert it into a box. Very simple. Cut it to pieces and we'll make the box and make your box fit, and you've got the same thing. But just in the event that maybe, you know, right now times are a little hard. We've got fungalitis going on, and we've got Christmas just finished, and maybe we're strapped a little for cash, but we would like one. Because right now in Arkansas, it's 75 and 80 degrees. We could have a barbecue. Maybe I got invited to a barbecue and I want to take a hostess gift. So I thought, well, you know, I could put in a little basting brush, a little spatula, maybe a little seasoning packet. I just put a chili one in there just to show you that it does fit in there. But, you know, there's all kinds of brines and things, seasoning packets for rubs and things that you could put in there. But let's get started, and I'll show you how I started this. So I started out by making 2 templates, and I'm going to show you how to make this templates. Don't fret. And what I did is, I cut myself 2 pieces of cardstock. Now I'm using the cardstock because it's a little stiffer. I can trace around it. You can use cereal board, you know, cracker cereal, the cardboard part from them, and use it and cut it out and make a template as well, and it would be even a little more sturdier. But I'm just going to use myself some cardstock, and I do believe this is 110 pounds. So I've got that cut at 6 by 6.5, and the T on it is for me to remind myself that this is the template. Now I'm just bringing my scoreboard in to show you what side I'm working on. So I am working on the 6-inch side. Now you can score this at 3 and fold it, or you can do like me, and I'm just going to fold mine in half and kind of use my scoreboard to guide me. You don't have to. You can just fold it in half. I have my bone folder, and I'm just burnishing mine down. You don't have to do that. Rub it with your fingernail. Rub it with your scissors. Okay, so we've got this folded edge on the left, the cut edge on the right, and we are going to make a few tip marks with our pencil. So from the top, I'm working down the 6.5-inch side. I'm going to measure down 2 1/4 inches. I'll make myself a little mark on the edge. Then from the top on the fold there, I'm going to mark myself a mark that measures 1.5. Now you need a curve. I'm just going to use my score tape. And all I'm doing is just lining them up, lining the edges up with those tick marks. So it's looking something like that. Or you can do the inside, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to line that up as best as I can. And I'm just going to trace around my score tape. Then I'm going to get my scissors. And I like my little Cricut ones. I tried using my bigger ones and I didn't like it. And I'm just going to cut that out. Now, when you're cutting a curve, if you turn your paper versus your scissors, you can get a little neater cut. And when I get up here, I'm not going to curve it out. I'm just going to just cut straight up. And that will give us our apron shape. So now we need our other piece that's 7 by 6.5. We're going to do almost the same thing, a little different. So on the 6.5 inch side, we're going to fold that in half. Okay, now I have my fold to my left and the open part to my right. I'm going to get my small template, the one that we made, and I am going to line this up with my cut edge to my cut edge, and I'm just going to eyeball mine and leave a border on 3 sides. And I'm just going to trace that curve. Just draw that straight up. Now if you are particular and you want to get your ruler out and draw yourself a straight line, you can do it. And not that biggie. And we're just going to do that again. We're just going to cut out that curve. Like so. Now this is going to be the back of it, and this will be the template for your designer series paper, and this is going to fit smack dab right in there. Now mine is a little bit bigger around. Now I left it a little bit wider so that I could use some edging scissors, these are called. These ones I got from the Dollar Tree, and then these two I received in a swap years ago, and that's how I cut my edge to make it pretty, but you don't have to. Okay, so now it's all up to using your template, and I would just I like to put a T on here, and an I, a T, and it reminds me that's my template, and this is my small, my designer series paper, and this is my large. Okay, now you got to do it again. So that's why it's nice to have your template. Large, this is your template. So cut 2 large ones out of whatever kind of paper you want, whatever color, and then cut 2 small ones on your designer series paper. So you get your designer series template out, and I'm using 8.5 by 11 that I printed, so I have to cut mine twice. And what I like to do is face mine together. If you want to cut them out at the same time, you can. And we're just going to do what I did on that other. I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to grab a clip. Hold that together, and then now this is where I like to use my trimmer so I can get a decent straight line. I'm just gonna put that in there. And don't throw your scraps away. You can make pockets and stuff with it, so that'll keep me just a little bit straighter. And then this is where you can binder clip it, or if you're good at holding, you can. And I'm just going to cut them curves. I think I drank too much coffee this morning. Okay, so that is my small ones that's going to go on my template. Like I said, it might be a little bit longer here, or, you know, and that's okay. You can always trim that down. It's not a big deal. So now I have my large template. Now this is with the one you'll cut with whatever color paper you want. So I'm just going to use some black. You can use whatever color you want. And I'm going to do the same thing. You know, it depends on what size paper you're using. If you're using 12 by 12, you know, it's fine. You're just going to do it however. And I'm going to do this. Just going to trace this. Oop. Close to straight as I can. I'm not going to be too finicky about it. And then once again, I've got mine doubled up. If you want to trace them separate, you can. That's up to you. It's totally up to you. Do this. I'm going to do this just to so I have it a little straight. Alright, and fold them together and find my scissors. Okay, so now I have two of those. So you'll need two. One for the back, one for the front. And you'll need two designer series papers. One for the front, one for the back. Okay, so now, if you've got some edging scissors, like I said, I could get these, you can get them on Amazon. You have a 6-piece edge cutter, edge scissors for $7.49, or a 5-piece for $5.99, or don't do anything. You don't have to. Now, I did use my corner rounder to kind of soften the edges a little bit, so I just went ahead and did that. And then these ones are a little tricky. I just did it as best as I could by sticking them in there. Do the same. Well, you don't have to do that. If you don't want to edge cut yours, you can just, you know, do the same thing. If you want to just leave it plain, you can. And I'm just going to set them aside. Okay, for the box part, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 9 by 6 1/4. And you're going to put this, I wrote it on there, and then I wrote it on here. I've got it written everywhere. And we're going to put this on the 6 1/4 inch side. You're going to get our scoring tool. We're going to score it 1 inch. I'm going to rotate that around, and I'm going to score it 1 inch again. I'm going to place this on the 9 inch side. I'm going to score at 4, and I'm going to score at 5. And that's it. And now, where we scored 4 and 5, we're just going to cut up to that first score line. Just like this, and like that, and like that. Okay? And that's it. Now, if you want to go in here and trim up your tab a little bit, you can do that as well. And we are going to have our box, and what's going to happen is we're going to put the tabs in, and then this is going to fold up like this, and our apron's going to sit front to back. Okay, we'll set that aside, but we've got all our components done. So now it's just a preference of how you'd like to decorate yours. If you want to, now I put my designer series paper on my apron first, and you can trim this because if you're doing something like what Ms. Shemeka did, it's just the outside edge that's got that scallop on it. He said you don't have to do anything, then you just take a trimmer and cut that to equal that and corner around it and be done with it. Or you can use your scissors and just, you know, I just cut a little tiny sliver off. It's up to you how you want to do it. You know, I think since I did the double edged one, I think I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to measure this. I think I'm just going to kind of keep it plain, because maybe I'm going to give this to a fella, and they don't want all that frilly stuff. So I'm just going to eyeball. And I'm going to take a little bit off the top there. I'd rather it be a little bit too big than to be too small. So I can always take away, but I can't put it back. And then I'm going to take my corner rounders, my corner cutter, and I'm just going to cram that paper in there as best as I can. Now, I think if you have like the crocodile ones, it would probably cut a little bit easier. Or if you don't have that, get the edge of your tape again and find your pencil, and you can just eyeball it, draw yourself a little, you know, a little curve there, and just cut it by scissors if you'd like. So I have those. Like I said, one's your front, one is your back. So now it's just, you know, however you want to decorate yours. And you can just glue out. And this is my front. And if you want to put a pocket on it, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Just gonna now, if you don't like how wide this is, you can go in there with your scissors again and just kind of trim it up a little bit. And just do you, however, whatever makes you happy. But it's not bothering me, so. And then we have our back one, and we're going to do the same thing. And then you can always just put your templates away in a drawer, and you'll have them for the next time. So there, we got our front, we got our back. Now if you want to make a little pocket, you can. Because you probably got scraps laying around somewhere from cut off pieces. So and you just, you know, eyeball it, guys. You don't have to be picky. You know, this is measuring 4.5. So I'd probably go 4.5 by 3.5, maybe. Try that. if you do have dies and you have a circle die, or the circle die with the scallops like Miss Shemeka did, you can do that and just cut the top off. Make a pocket that way. You can make your pocket however you like. Now let's see. Maybe I'll use a little edge here on this one. Now, I'm not the best at cutting with these scissors. I didn't do too bad. That might be a little too tall. Well, maybe not. Nope, I say I like it. I like it. And then I have my designer series paper, and I'm just going to lay this in here and just eyeball it. Get maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch smaller than your pocket. Yeah, I was going to round my corners, but oh well. Just gonna. I love reptile glue, and I use a lot of times. But it does not give you wiggle room to slide. It's like find where you want to go and lay it down, because it don't slide for me. I'm going to get the front of my apron again. Just going to run a small bead of glue down 3 sides. The side, the left side, the bottom, and the right side. I'm just going to eyeball mine, centery. Like so. Now, we've got that done, and now you can decorate this part here with your ribbon. So I just have some of this from the Dollar Tree, some of this buffalo check ribbon, red and black. And I don't know, I would just however much you want to have. I would say about yay much. And the right scissors. And that's measuring about 8 inches. 7 3/4 to 8 inches. It depends on, it's up to you. You don't have to be exact. I'm going to use my hot glue gun and put just a tiny bit of glue on there. And I'm going to put it on the back side. That's a little warm. If you have one of these little Dollar Tree makeup, you find these in the makeup, they're silicone, and you can use it to push things down and keep from burning yourself. And I'm just going to make sure I don't twist it. And I put a little more hot glue and lay this down. Like so that'll give you that part, Now we need to make our box. And I didn't do mine in black. This one's in white. I did do it. Never mind. I have it right here. I did cut one in black. And you're just going to take your flap and tab there on both sides. some glue on it. Fold one side up to match up your corner there. And do the same on the other side there. Just basic box making here. And then I'm just going to run some glue down that 1 inch part there that we had done. And on the other side. And I'm just going to fold that together and match that up to the side and the top. I'm just going to take my bone folder and kind of burnish that down a little bit. You don't have to. You can, you know, use your scissors, a pencil, a ruler. Now, if you want to decorate your edge here like that, I'm just going to eyeball it on my pencil. And I'm leaving myself at, you know, 1/8 of an inch from side to side and from top to bottom. Pop this in my trimmer. I'm trying to see what I had cut there. Like so. I'm just going to stack them two up. Right. It's coming along, it's coming along. And then you can take your glue and decorate your sides. If you want, you can have to. This would be cute for even Mother's Day. I think I'm doing your mom's favorite color, or your grandmother, or anybody really, you know, anybody you want to give a Mother's Day present to. Doesn't have to just be your mom. Give it somebody that was like a mom to you. And make it kind of like a gardening, maybe, type deal. Garden, you know how you have a garden apron? You could go on, sure, you could find images or something and cut out, you know, like little gardening tools and tuck them down in the pocket. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to lay mine, so it doesn't really matter which way you lay it. I've got mine where my folded edges towards me and that cut back edges back there. It doesn't matter, just glue it on. So this is my front. So before I glue it, I'm going to test fit and make sure I have it to where it's not, you know, up here or anywhere. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball center it. And I'm going to put my glue on. Double-sided tape if you're a taper. I'm a gluer. And I'm just going to eyeball that center as straight as I can. My bone folder in there. And then this is the back one. I'm just gonna do the same thing, kind of just hover it over and eyeball it. And then I can do that and get it to even up. Just go in there with your hand or your bone folder and kind of give it a smash down. And that's it. And now you can decorate this to your little heart's content. Like I have a box here of little beads and jimmies. Just some half flat back pearls, and then these are just some jimmies. So, you know, or buttons. Buttons would even be really cute. You could do some buttons, especially if you're doing it for a guy. A little button jar over here. I've got tons of buttons. I'm trying to find two that match. Now that ought to be, that'll be the humdinger. There we go. There we go. And if you want to put some, baker's twine in there, you can. And make it look like you tied it if you want. I'm not going to get that fancy. We all know how to, decorate and make pretties. You know, I've got a little bit too much hot glue sticking out the edge there. I have a love-hate relationship with glue guns. I love how fast and efficient they are at gluing, but I hate the glue strings and the glue mess that it leaves behind and sticks to. But there we go. So there, that's it. And you have that little box made, and you can tuck in your little goodies. Like that. You might be able to fold a pot holder, even, you know, a small pot holder in half and tuck it in there. I don't know. I didn't try it, but I was just giving you ideas. So, get our messes cleaned up here. Alright, there we go. We've got those little apron boxes, and I hope this helps Miss Jolie or whoever would like to make these and they don't have a cutting machine or they can't afford the dies. Maybe you're a beginner and you don't really want to invest that kind of money because you don't know if you really care for it. I was that way. And if you watch my last video, it'll tell you my top 10 things that I had when I began paper crafting. It's not they're kind of my favorites, but they were basically what I started investing in. You know, what I started out with, so that you could kind of look ahead, look at scoreboards and paper trimmers and say, oh, okay, well, that's $25 for that. And those were pretty much my most expensive things starting out, was my scoreboard and my paper trimmer. And then, you know, as the years progressed, I bought bigger and better things. You know, and now I have a cutting machine and I have a die cutter. And I started out die cutting, and I had tons of dies, and I gave them away because I had my Cricut, and I started using that. So, you know, it's just something to build up. If you don't have all the money to buy it, don't worry about it. Just build it up a little bit at a time. But there you guys go. I thought those were kind of cute. Like I said, if you wanted to put like a little gift card in there, or maybe I don't know, just maybe a little be a little tag. Now these Fiskars ones, I have a hard time with them. In the Dollar Tree ones cut like butter. So you could stick even a little tag up in there, you know, whatever makes you happy. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Go try yourself out an apron and see if you would like to make one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I have a few more tutorials to bring your way. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my video. And I want to say thank you to my subscribers, new and old. And if you're not subscribed, please click that subscribe button. I see a lot of people viewing my videos but not subscribing, and it helps me to grow the more subscribers I get. So I'm trying to get up there, and I'm thinking of maybe doing a giveaway if I can get an X amount of number, but we'll see about that. Because like I said, right now we just had Christmas and funds are a little tight, so, you know, I'm going to see what I can do. But, alright guys, take care, stay safe, remember I love each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.